Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Launch Strategies for Leaders. For those of you who don't already know me, my name is Katrina Douglas. I am the founder of the Launch Strategist, and my goal is to help organizations lay a strong foundation for long-term commercial success and lay a foundation to secure funding also. So that is the goal of this show. If you've never seen it before, if you've never seen me before, the goal of this show is to help you really do that, lay the foundation, give you tips and insights to help you lay a foundation to do the things that are going to help your organization really be successful over the long term. So today I'm talking about process mapping, one of those topics that aren't so riveting, but are super important in order to scale, in order to grow, in order to systemize your organization, and ultimately be as profitable as you absolutely can be. Part 1 was on Tuesday, so the first 3 tips we covered in that. If you missed that, you can scroll down my timeline or pop on over to our business page. Failing that, you can hop on over to YouTube and watch that last video, as well as over 100 other videos that we've done here at the Launch Strategist. So let's get into it. So the next tip I want to share with you is this. So when it comes to processes, really identify your bottlenecks. If you're trying to run a campaign, for example, or if you're trying to deliver a service, whatever the process might be, and it gets stuck or it's stalled along the way or it gets slowed down somewhere, identify what that is. Is that to do with technology? Is that to do with the way the process works? Is that to do with a person? So identify your bottlenecks. So often we have the process, and whether it's an order process, whether it's something we do internally, and that the process is always getting stuck, but we never really get to the root of what's causing it to get stuck. So look out for the bottlenecks in your processes and actually address them. Identify whether it's the technology, identify whether it's the route that the process is going through, identify whether it's a person that maybe may have too much on their plate, so it's getting stuck, but identify where the bottlenecks are in your processes. When it comes to roles, assign responsibilities as well. That way, when the process does begin to fall down or it does get stuck, you have a person that you can go to or people that you can talk to, and people know who is responsible for the process, who they need to go to get it fixed. So I'm going to give you a model that is used in the process management arena, and it's RACI. So every process should have a responsible person. Every process should have an approver, for someone that or people that approve it along the way. It should also have contributors, so people that are contributing to how that process works. And in the last episode, we spoke about having key stakeholders. And making sure that your process accommodates the needs of various key stakeholders. So you have contributors, and then you have people that need to be informed. So these might be senior managers who aren't involved in the process, but they need to be informed. So whenever you have a process, especially a significant process, be thinking about those roles. So who is the responsible person for that process? Who actually needs to approve the process? Who needs to contribute to the process, and who needs to be informed of the process. And finally, we're going to keep this super short. Do the Amazon test. Now, when it comes to processes, a lot of the times we find this daunting because often many of us have come from organizations where there were big manuals for processes. There were big guides. You had to keep those guides updated, and it's just laborious. Now, that no longer has to be the case. And I'm going to give you an example. Amazon, do the Amazon test. Amazon, have you ever had to read a manual for how to make a purchase on Amazon, how to make a review on Amazon, how to do anything? No, because the process is super intuitive. Now, in some cases, yes, it may need to be recorded, especially if you're transferring responsibility for that process, but very rarely does it have to be a long-winded, laborious guide. We can rid ourselves of that. So take the Amazon test. The key is to make your process as simple and as seamless that it doesn't actually require a manual. And a good alternative for this, and I came across this example in a book called Clockwork. And what the author of that book said is, instead of writing a manual for your process, screen record or audio record something, record it visually, record yourself doing the process, record that process being done, and then hand off the video. And then when you've handed off over the video, yes, there might be some supporting notes, but ultimately most of us can record at least some semblance of the process, hand that over. Then when that process gets maybe handed off in the future, if that person leaves or needs to hand off the process, get them to re-record the process and hand it over. We no longer need to be having long-winded manuals for processes. There is absolutely a better way. So make sure you do the Amazon test for your processes. And if it is difficult, or if it's difficult to understand, or if people don't know what they're doing or they get stuck, chances are your process needs to be simplified. So 3 simple tips for really managing processes and really building a more streamlined, seamless organization. The first one is locate your bottlenecks in your processes. Number 2 is make sure that you're clarifying roles when it comes to process mapping. And number 3 is take the Amazon test. There's no need for long-winded guides. Record those processes, make them as simple and seamless as possible. So I hope that helps. Next week's topic is an interesting one, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. So one of the big things when it comes to longevity and gaining funding is product market fit. So when you get product market fit right, you have incredible demand. When we don't have product market fit, that's where we get stuck and we struggle to gain traction. So next week, I'm going to be talking all about product marketing fit, sharing some real insights on what it is, how to make sure that you have product market fit when you're building a business, or when you're launching a new initiative, a new product or service. So really looking forward to that. If there's anything that you would like me to cover in this area, if there's any questions you have, drop them in the comments and I will absolutely be sure to get back to you. So have an amazing weekend and the rest of the week, and I will speak to you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.